stream. Galing matsotso esti mangi esti. Oh, enegi. Okay. Sine. No idzo un rotto. Puro na matsotso e toro esti sia, no? No, Timatotsogi Instagram. The live stream for Instagram is not working. All right, now you do un minuto.
Dispensa Zoo, my Chamorus not that good.
No.
I haven't been participating in
Maulika. It's not working.
I've been tuning into your class, but I've been at work all the time.
Tadzagwa, no worries. No worries. Here, I'm trying to get this. I'm just trying to get to see if I can get the Instagram live stream up. And if I can, we'll start. If it's not going to work though, then Maulika. No worries. No. For some reason, Timatsotso Instagram, it's not working today. All right, Maulika. All right. Tadzuga. Half a day, todos hamzu, guano hudzung. Istigi nuevo na episode Fanachu, guawi host midzo si Michael Luhan Bavakwa. Half a day. And
Half a day.
It is bonito na haani guinigi Islas Marianas. It is a beautiful day in the Marianas. But it is always an important reminder for those of us in the Marianas that the majority of the Chamorro people do not live in the Marianas anymore. The majority of the Chamorro people, Manyasaga, gi San Lago, gi todo lugar siha gi Hilutano, I bet you, Estatatungu, there are lots of Chamorros in San Diego, in Washington, in Texas. There's some Chamorros stationed in South Korea, of course. There's some Chamorros in the Middle East. I bet you there's some Chamorros that live in Mongolia, too. There's probably some Chamorros in every corner of the world right now. And one of the things that has been beautiful to see as the diaspora of the Chamorro people has grown, as more people have left the Marianas, as there has been this brain drain, unfortunately, though, we have seen the Chamorro people, though, build up more cultural, civic, social, and political infrastructure in the diaspora to help sustain their communities. Because what started off as small communities of Chamorros in different areas where maybe there was just a few Pacific Islanders here or there in different areas, coming together to barbecue, coming together to say the novena, coming together just to be in solidarity because everyone around them was white or everyone around them was black, everyone around them was Latino. And so now we see, though, that Chamorros have created festivals, Chamorros have created clubs, Chamorros have created scholarships, Chamorros have created all sorts of things so that even if they are thousands of miles away from the Marianas, they can still have a sense of community. And even if they might feel disconnected from culture, disconnected from language, disconnected from the islands, they still have a chance to learn those things. They still have a chance to learn from teachers, learn from each other, to connect. And one of the exciting things that has developed in just the past 2 years is, of course, the Marianas Festival in the Pacific Northwest. And so started by a group called MAGI, Marianas Alliance for Growth of Islanders. And last year on Fanachu, we spoke to a group of members of MAGI. And today we have two members of MAGI who will be talking with us today about the Marianas Festival, uh, Sinagi Dos, Segundo Viaje, second try. After a very successful first year in which thousands of people attended, in 2024, they're going to do it again. Because if you have 7,000 people go to your fiesta the first year, you have to do it again now, or else people are going to talk. People are going to talk and say, "Hafesti na familia ambi they're just a one-trick Keligwan family. Hafesti ambi tisinya." And so. First off, we're going to talk about the Marianas Festival because I saw pictures, I heard amazing things. It made me mahaleng para San Lago. Sumaska Zuguinigit Zaguahan. I live here in Guam, but I was missing being in Washington State and in Oregon, seeing all of the amazing pictures of the dancers, of the crafters, of the workshops that were going on, the beautiful sense of community that you all had created. Um, and so first off, por favor, introducen Maisa Hamzunados. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. And Senor Hogu Finetna, if you want, go ahead and introduce yourself. And then let's talk about Magi, and then let's talk about the Marianas Festival.
No, no.
Buenas noches, no, gosto no Kirwa, no, mapila ko sa Saipan, jika tu zini mapoksa, jika tu zini manu, pun dan lingwahe, kultura, dan ipenggata, no, para ito titumong malhamya, zani familian Carabao, lo hami na kituga, jelinga familian Achia, si Gecko, ni manona katu kita Saipan, ja, tinutataw na ginimanyagin sa sumay ko kasi mga gatu bisa Saipan. Mas manami ang familia Kitugwa. So I've been born there and just been all my life in Saipan doing anything that has to do with culture, the language. I'm artist though. I'm an artist and I do a lot of craft. I study the history and just practically anything that is in line with but it's more so even though I go to college in Minnesota, I still craving for my cultural identity. And all those times, and I'm still doing it here now that I left the island in Saipan. I'm continuing it here. And that was last year that I met online for Bertina mentioning about the Magi, and I go, wow, so we look na naan if Steve Magi, but my la Magi, if I'm Magi. From there, we've been communicating, and then finally went down and we met everybody, the group, and it was an incredible experience. One of the things that, like you said, this is diaspora ni bulan na tao tamang gayu kinumagi. Mataygi to ginawa tulo. I'm here and I've been una fa fantas una open mo na of tiningo sa malagzo bi Ambrose. I want to share put tiningo and I'm still learning. I am not a professional. I don't profess myself to learn many anything. I'm still learning also. Being a participant in the festival ever since back home from the Arts Council, I used to coordinate a lot of festivals there. We used to work at the museum. There's many things that has to do with the Isota culture, and we're here for the second event. Minahugwa, Minados. We didn't expect that last year. It was an incredible event. It was 2 days. One is the workshop and the event, but now it's going to be 3 days. And I'm sure it will probably explain more into that, how the Magi became about and how it established itself and it made a footing. Not only here, not only just a market, but there's other clubs, organization in every state. And it's so exciting for this year that I'm looking forward to. Some of my Carolinian brothers and sisters back home there want to participate. So we sent Bettina, sent a letter to the governor, and I'm going to be contacting this guy, Gus Tullamore, to see if they can bring some of the group from Saipan and partake in this event. The thing that is really kumakati ko rason, no? Because is that the Kuturata and our culture, our language, and everything. Siga di dumididi, and I did make an example that prior to the Spanish coming in, our ancestors' knowledge is the size of Kalahi, the big Kalahi thing, that's how much. Then when the Spanish came, it became like a bowl. And then now it's more like umpunyut. It's more like one handful of people. But now I want to see that umpunyut, one handful to this much, and hopefully get as much as we can. And as part of the things that I've been also doing is, um, as a Chamorro interpreter in a lot of courts since 2016, I'm still working on it. I've been seeing some of the clients that they're I gave them a more like a one sheet of paper that I developed to give them an idea to what level can this person can comprehend, so I can translate in court to you know to the best of my knowledge for that person to comprehend. And I've been seeing that as time goes on, the language is not it's like it's either down there, and I really want to pick it up. I really want them to learn about it. So yeah, bulano, and it's not too late. Tabiati man dinidingo it, lingua hita, and it's very important. And culture is also goes together with the material culture and the language and all the customs and everything. And that's what really want to pursue more than all those things in there.
Si Diyos
So
masis niya. Hunggan
thank
si
you.
Diyos masin ay taimano en describe todo ano siya na isa. Un necesita cosas, un necesita tau-tau, debido un famatsa na, debido na magahe di kultura. Sa tisino, Ticino and Franella, like Sino Bonito and Franella, it can be for I think para mega na tauta na mausa I Franella ha, but is mapega estigi social media and no time ano ma-express masota ha esti joko identity. Lo, wanti tinahong ano, Taiwan no isinangan mo na ko sino na bula ikalahi. No ano ahi, un pidisitu ano. Lo,
Okay.
angkat mandanya hit, Guahamanamco, Guahamanhoben, todo este na tiningo, pues hungan, sinyata encima na todo y pateta zabuente sinyata na bula este na kalahi hungan. So I think you underscore the importance there of why gathering, having like a festival, especially for those who might be away from the Marianas, who might live in places where they're not as exposed to the culture or the language, having a place where Chamorros can gather might be so important. And so, Ed,
Yeah.
Pago, por favor, go ahead, introduce in my
Well,
saham.
see, at Sablon, Smasaka Zugita, Portland, Oregon. I've lived out here since 93. And, Uncle Noe touched upon a lot of things that, um, there's when you move out here and you're living out here, there's this sense of just you're on your own. You're kind of, and this 18-year-old kid from Guam, just trying to make it in whatever in this like culture shock area. But from that feeling alone, it's interesting to watch. What am I trying to say? Like for instance, when we opened up our food cart, and actually that's how I met Bertina and Tommy, because they had opened up their food cart as well. But I opened it because I didn't feel like that there was a big presence of Chamorro people or people from the Marianas out here. And then as soon as that happened, just like seeing everybody come out from everywhere, and like it's like where have you all been? Like there's so many of us out here. There's so many people that have the knowledge to, that they know the language, they know the customs and our culture. And so something like the Marianas Festival to like come bring a lot of those people together and showcase it. It's been awesome. It's been super grateful for all of their hard work, Bertina and Tommy and everybody else that's involved.
Hey,
Um,
Mas. No, Song and Mas. Sino and Song and Mas. You can
well, no,
share.
I'm just going to touch upon social. You brought up social media, and I'm like, yeah, social media has been amazing. Just like kind of, I don't sort of like making the world smaller, with or in the sense that all these people from our islands all over the world are able to uh, communicate with each other, and like just, I mean, just that alone, and like sharing thoughts and ideas and continuing the all our traditions and stuff. Like it's been really awesome just to watch it all.
One of the things that this gathering is in the cluster, there's a lot of family reunion last year. I mean, I saw families from different states got together, and I saw Bula. There's a lot of hugs, and Bulak Tinek, Tulad, Chiniku, a lot of cries, a lot of happiness, and they're looking forward for this event. And enough from like anything that's really good, anything that's so positive, old friends, new friends. Yeah, it's an amazing event, like no, and last year it was just like everywhere, just dances, bula kanta, bula baila, especially the dance group, the older dance group. I mean, my God, just honestly, I had some tears when I say when I see all these uh, all the dances right there. They're just like manlukaw and all this thing, mga kanta. It's just incredible event, and you can see all those pictures in there. Um,
Mhm.
and now sometimes as I get younger every day, sometimes I need to say I need to see your face again and your name so I can sometimes I want to write it down because it's hamalafaz, this thing. But yeah, there's dance. It's just it's an enormous event, and it's just the spirit of the Chamorros is just overwhelming, and I'm looking forward again for this year. In every event, there's always glitches, there's always issues and everything. So that's what the committee got together, and they're trying to iron those things out. And I believe no Ed, it's going to be two stages right now, right? Yeah, what's
Yeah, well,
coming up?
there's 2 days, yeah. But I mean, this first time around, we
Oh,
really didn't know what to expect. The
and
like what the crowd was going to look like, and how it was going to be received by the communities out here and stuff, and to witness what happened was it was amazing. Was there's so many people there.
And it's a learning experience. And in every event, there's always, a learning experience to make it a lot better.
Hmm.
And there's going to be more people coming in. So I just got
again.
a text from Saipan saying, "Hey, how's everything going on?" And we're just still waiting for the governor to sign something to have this dance group and band to come here. So there's it's siya di dumangkulo, siya di pumunta mo na tawtaw and that's really so looking
Again,
forward again.
just para Hamzani Omega SD, these are images from si Manny Crisostomo. These are his images from last year's Marianas Festival 2024. And so you can get a sense atten esti menegay tautau, atten ilenadzan tautau. So I think
Oh,
numbers that you shared was over the multiple days of the festival, 7,000 people perhaps attended. And so just a wonderful, a wonderful, I think 7,000, that's more than the amount of people that live in Humatak and Asen and PD and Guam. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just at 7,000 people in the Marianas, that means you get a mayor and a vice mayor.
Right.
And so make sure for next year you have a mayor of the festival because esta man nahong hamzunay hadzi ga zumu pari mahot nay pari atkadi. And so but wonderful just wonderful images here. And so one of the things that I did want to ask about, because this is one of the things that have always hoped that more Chamorro festivals would do, more Chamorro gatherings would do, and I'm thinking that more of them will start doing it. The Tsetlu Festival has not really started doing it yet. I know that Bernard Poncelan sometimes does it and it's attached to Chamorro events. He'll do genealogy workshops. But one of the things I noticed last year, and I believe you're doing it again this year, is that you're having workshops so that it is not just a day of dancing and a pigigi, logofzahu a pigigi, or ahu gofzahu ahu lokwi. It is not just inenkanu, i baila, i bunitunay na kosasta lokwi artifacts, or it's not only that stuff. It's also workshops in which people learn things too, right? And so that was one of the things that I've most liked about last year, is because what we find is that there's, Chamorros are always, they don't need big reasons to gather, right? When Chamorros meet each other, one of them is going to say, "Hey, why don't we get food?" And then they go get food. Or when people meet and I'm gonna go get my driver's license renewed. Hey, mileage at Tahita na? Okay, ni. And then you just kind of do something together, because Chamorros oftentimes, you just come together, you just do things together. So getting Chamorros together is not that tough. But what I liked was that you also incorporated learning and knowledge exchange, cultural exchange. That was something special. And so, Senor, perhaps can you talk a little bit about that? What was the types of workshops that were offered last year? And then what are the types of workshops that, because there's going to be more this year as well?
If I'm not mistaken, I learned that Bernard will be doing a genealogy. As a matter of fact, he did one in Texas recently, and he's doing again on June 7th. As a matter of fact, this week, and unfortunately, I could make it. It's just right next door to Everett. Um, Last year, it was more of there was a dance group there inside in there by Joel Lamar from the Goma Imahi, and I think Mr. Regis too is one of the dance coordinators. Uh, there was I did the pottery making in there. It was show them about the history of everything in there and all the craft that I made, about the different material culture, and the pottery was one of them because I realized that the pottery is one of the most common during the pre-Ladi and the Ladi period, but yet there seems to be a growing right now of pottery makers. And I was just writing down because it's one of my first is that I've been doing in the pottery is this year. It actually has to do with that. I'm gonna showcase all the potteries and the pre-Ladi, and then I'm gonna have some of the students make some of the actual way of making in a traditional. And so it's pottery. The title of the titulo honestly is a pottery making, reviving our ancestors' household vessels. And the second workshop I'm going to be making is stencils and templates, the art of designs and patterns, how our ancestor uses different designs and patterns to that found mostly in the pottery and some of the petroglyph and pictograph. And I'm going to use that and compare it also from a traditional point of view to modern modern designs, how the ladder stones are patterned, not only to tattoo or you name it, t-shirts or anything like that. And it's going to be a transitional of how we're looking forward in the future, what's happening, and hopefully that one day, other people will take the designs and formulate their own designs of their techniques and everything. But it's all going to be more like a hands-on. The pottery is going to showcase pieces of pottery that I have, how on the pre-Ladi, for example, and how it's very thin and it's a Marianas red and beautifully embossed with lime. but I don't have no awfulness, so I'm just gonna use a white plaster as part of the life, so it will work. So and I'm gonna show how the tools that they use. And I found out too that when I was back home, I found this pottery and with this X and circles, and it double up and it goes in a pattern like this. And I realized that pottery is for women. Women are the one who makes pottery, same as in Yap and Palau. And the designs, I really looked at it, it was actually like a mother and a daughter on the bottom. So what I did is I took that piece and I measured it to find the actual diameter and the thickness and everything. And I've been doing so many um, the reconstruction, so to put it that way, how they use it. They use bamboo, they use the thumb, they use the elbow to mold it. They also my cultural speculation is that I'm sure that the song that they make is so rounded that my theory is that they use Atsualutong, and that's where they plaster on top of it and they lift it up, and that's how they start making on it. So going to be a lot of the history point of view, the actual artifacts, and then the participants who actually make using a lot of bamboo or even a piece of wood to make the impression on it. In the design pattern that I templates and stencils, how the participant will use. I'm going to show them the designs of what we have and how they're going to apply it to on canvas, or how they each of them can even take that design in paper and put it in Xerox here with this, for example, the plastic in a Xerox, and they project it on a wall, and how could they trace it, and how they can use computer now like Photoshop and everything. So those is the other ones that I'll be working on it, and they can apply it in how do you make a sinahi exactly the same paper stencil. And so this, for example, I have one. It's a Hagrid, and this one stencil has a multiple uh, design in the inside of the Hagrid that you can just take it, trace it, take the other one, put it on, trace it, and then you have all these triangles. You have the fish hooks designs. Everything is in there, and but it's like I'm making a registered templates that each participant can say, "Hey, let me find it. I'm gonna use this." When they put it on it, it's all registered, and you just wow, like that. They can use and how they can paint on it. Last year also there was Tilasis, I believe, more making. There's what
Mhm.
else? Bettina did. I mean, what's her name? Angela. She did the carving on the Sinai with the bones and everything, and she got all the miniature tools, and the participant actually work on it. There's just so many things, and now Bernard is coming in. I think, but Angela is going to be doing the same thing, and there's going to be weaving on it, um, and hopefully, some of the one of the thing that I'm going to present there is how to make the atupat, the atupat and the atupat, because I have all the materials already. So going to
Oh,
be probably only 10 participants on that one, because once they finish it, they're going to take it home and hang it up and everything.
oh
I
man,
will also have.
Yeah.
Go Zahu Torres. Ed, go ahead.
Well, I think
Okay,
that's one of the things, in the one of the integral parts of the Marianas Festival was wanted to make sure that we weren't just congregating and having a barbecue and
right.
having a market or whatever, but we were focused on teaching the culture, teaching different aspects of the culture, from Uncle Noe's from the pottery last year and the exhibits. I think this year we're gonna have
Weaving.
we're gonna do the weaving, let's see, we have dance, there's gonna be carving, more tomorrow sign language, the cultural
Yeah,
exhibit, Uncle Noe, yeah, and the sling throwing, um, the talaza throwing.
Plaza.
Um, we have, and then also, we're not the only culture there in the Marianas. So really incorporating the Rafalawash culture, and we're gonna have the Mormor making, and there's something else, those what do they call? I forgot the name, where the like they wear right here, the
Uh, Legatur.
Liga Tutor, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Legatur.
yeah, there's gonna be I believe there's gonna be more workshops, more incorporation of different aspects of our culture. And having that, we have that on the first day. That's August 22nd at Heritage High School in Vancouver, Washington. And that's going to be the first day of the festivities.
And I think what's your name, Melissa will probably because June 1st is the final date of all the workshop applications
Mhm.
and vendors also exhibit
Ah,
and everything. So there are going to be more updates on that.
oh, Biba, Biba. All right. And so we have a bunch of people watching, and we have a few questions actually that are coming in. Um, and so so one question that has come courtesy of Michael Mendiola Garcia Hafade Aligo. He wants to know, where did the inspiration for this event come from, for the Marianas Festival? Does anyone want to share, where did the inspiration, who first had the idea, or
You
is
know,
it
I
a go ahead, Ed?
want to say that this is, Bertina Grao's baby, her idea, and she's been spearheading everything and like working endlessly to make all of this happen, especially with like the first time around, where everybody, we had our little group, and we're all there for support, but we all knew like this is their thing. Like we're gonna help them make it happen. Um, but yeah, I guess I don't want to speak I don't want to speak out of turn, but I believe that there was this vision that she had to really make everything that you saw last year happen, and we all pulled together and made it happen with her leadership.
No,
Yeah.
Sidus Masi. Sidus Masi. And then we have another question that has come in. Are there any partnerships or collaborations that really make this possible? Because looking at the pictures, seeing everything that's going on, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of resources. Megay pala nai para este. And
Mhm.
so is Magi working with a lot of people, or a lot of people kind of lending hands and lending support for this?
Yes, absolutely. There's one of the things we do have a lot of volunteers helping out for the festival this year. Also, there's been a lot of outreach to in the community, for just for sponsorship, and trying to get more people in the community out here involved as far as supporting the festival. Um, this past Mother's Day, we were fortunate enough to have Chef Peter Dueñas come out and help with this Mother's Day fundraising brunch, where there was a silent auction, there was live Chamorro music, and just coursed out dinner. I think we have 5, 6 courses and of Chamorro food, and just really, it was a very, very special night, and it was really cool. And yeah, I think one of the things Chef Peter Dueñas said was it was really cool to hear live Chamorro music being played at a restaurant out here in the States. So that was really awesome.
Oh,
But yeah,
Biba.
we're super grateful for that experience. We also did a collaboration with Life of Pi. So Life of Pi is a pizza restaurant that's out here in Portland, Oregon. I believe they have 2 locations, and the person that owns it is Jason Kalingo, and was you know he's from Guam. And it was really cool to touch base with him and create a special for a month that was, certain percentage of proceeds went to help the Marianas Festival. And so that was really cool. This year, one of the new things we have is, I believe, a Nike sponsored 5K run in the beginning of the second day of the festival. We're at Blue Lake Park. So that's going to be really cool. So yeah, just it's been a it's been really nice to see all that hard work of community outreach and seeing everything that's coming back.
Oh, c'est doucement, c'est. Oh, c'est doucement, c'est. It is, I mean, it's just so exciting to hear, just because I think, you know, one of the one of the reasons in the past that so many people felt the need to leave the Marianas is just mandikiki hit na class in Tauta. We're so small, we're not capable of anything, and you. But then one of the things that's always important is kind of the more that we make Chamorro larger than that consciousness, than that colonizing consciousness, then the easier it is for the next generation to feel comfortable and proud and happy and not feel like you have to give up one for the other, that you have to trade being Chamorro, like you have to, you know, I need to leave Ireland so I can be something, and oh, maybe I'll come back every once in a while, or I need to sort of trade this for that and stuff. And so I think, yeah, I these festivals go very far, especially for the younger generation, just to realize, give that visibility. So in the sense that you see that the culture that you come from matters just as much
Mhm.
as another culture that you might see. I mean, I think yeah, we can never underscore you know, we were talking a little bit earlier about social media. You know, having that visibility in the places in which the new generation see see things and realizing that we are a people like anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to. Yeah, it's so important. And so, especially because there's tens of thousands of Chamorros who have grown up away from the Marianas, who have never been to the Marianas. And so their experience will be very different. And so for them, feeling that connection is essential. Having a space in which they can come and see, oh, we are something, you know, we are something special. And so that's why it's it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I mean, the last 2 years that I've been to the Tsetlu Festival in San Diego, I've encountered so many Chamorros who have never been to the Marianas at all, so many Chamorros who have never really heard the Chamorro language at all because their families have moved out to the States in the 50s or in the 60s. There's no Chamorro speakers anymore in their family whatsoever. And so they want to know more, but they don't really know where. They don't really know even where to start because Chamorro for them is it's it's a strange journey, but they want to undertake it. And so, but having a place like the Marianas Festival where so many people have answers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and sometimes is important. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, so when I left Guam, like this is before the internet. So, so yeah, it was that thing of coming out to the States and trying to kind of assimilate and, you know, become a part of whatever's happening out here and do whatever. But then as the years progress, you realize, like, wait, like as a Chamorro, I like we have a seat at the table, like we have a voice, and yeah, it's really cool to feel everybody congregating and celebrating our culture and putting it on a pedestal and being proud of who you are. And but yeah, not, I mean, just a few years ago was the first time I realized that there were Chamorros out here that had never been to the islands. And I was like, wow,
Yeah.
it was such an interesting concept for me that, these people that are, these Chamorros out here that are searching for an identity of like who they are and um, yeah, to be able to provide not only the people that have left the islands, but the people that are growing up here and maybe have never been to the islands, to provide them with that space of celebrating who they are is it's really special.
Hmm. Looking at it in retrospective, I know that it used to be um, two events. One in Guam is the Guam Micronesia Fair. Saipan is the Cinema Film Trip Festivals. Not anymore. We have in Guam, we have a lot of cultural, in practically a lot of villages and going on. In Saipan, the same thing. We have the 500 cells, we have canoe making there, we have activities going on. And they have this preconceived notion that in order to learn the culture, the language, and custom and everything, they have to go back to the island. Not anymore. We're here. So from New York, it's closer to here, and every other states we congregate, and other states have their own activities. They go there and everything. So on the internet access and everything, it's just an amazing that learning some of the language online, like si Doc, who's the teacher, ako yung maestro ka nagbenefit tomorrow in Guambas. So it's like the internet is just a tool that most of the time I forget when I'm sleeping. My wife, oh, lang sa guy, go give them. But I really got hooked on it, learning more stuff there, learning about. We just had recently um, a Zoom uh, meeting with Sandra Jung, Dr. Underwood, and just a lot of people that has to do with the dictionary of, people, the different website on the Chamorro dictionary, and we all got together and we talked about it. And that in itself, and hopefully we're gonna have another one. It has to do with the dictionary, and the Guampedia is one of my sources that I, looking at. Just go in there and just learns the other stuff, words, whatever that this kind of different with other, but it's great to learn so many things. And yes, now people, totoo ta eh. Das kumiklingan na patakanara tapti sa patatungo tulodo ahi manggay gini mogi bas ihud masyaman at sagot totoo sa lo bad kay gini mogi. And this festival is also gonna after that it's gonna be like a car show is gonna be there. There's
Yeah.
you know maybe you can talk about the car show a little bit about it.
But well, there's gonna be a lot more
Yep.
things there than last year. We're gonna have we got more vendors, more food vendors. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, it's yeah, more yeah, merch.
Let me let me just share
But
let me just share real fast because I think the group that did some of the videos last year, they sent me some of them, and so let's just share with
awesome.
everybody.
Blue waves, palm trees. Feel the sunbeat on the hot sand. Follow me, become family. Just as long as you can take my hand. Nothing in this world can ever measure to this tropical treasure. Just take a seat, guarantee you'll see what these islands mean to me. Even when I'm far away, I know you're never gonna leave my side. Forever feel your warm embrace. I know I'll find a home in you tonight. That's my Marianas.
Wow, that looked like not my goof SD. Yeah, hushashente minaholang na pareste. Woo! It looks like the Guam Micronesia Island Fair with aircon, with outdoor aircon. That's what it looks like to me. Oh my goodness, Hungen. And so, hold on, they sent me there was another clip that they sent as well. Oh wait, Estigate. All right. So Ed, you were talking about some of the stuff to expect this time around. Tell us a little bit more.
Um, well, let's see. We got we got some new MCs. We got more music. It's okay. So it's August 22nd is the workshops. Then 23rd and 24th, we're gonna have the festival down there at Blue Lake Park in Fairview, Oregon. And so over the 2 days, everything's pretty much double. We're gonna have more music, more vendors, more food, more dancers, and yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
In the I just saw in there the parade, the lookout,
Yeah.
the material, the things that they're holding, and those stuff in there. That's a lot of them already sold that I brought it over. But you have the kamzu, you have the chonka, the kulu, the guafa, so parading also the material culture that highlights
Mhm.
the event,
Mhm.
and there'll be more stuff in there. And I'm getting ready to check it out on every booth because I pretty much did not finish all the booth last year. But there'll be a lot of other modern stuff. I mean, just necklaces, you name it. A lot of more, a lot of just
Mhm.
so many things.
Mhm.
Oh, yes. There was a few comments watching that video about that gagas na sinahi. That one sinahi was like when I saw that, I don't know if the two of you are familiar with those videos where a chiropractor breaks somebody's back and go gagang ikaka. It's like and then the person's like, oh, when that person put that sinai around that person's neck, my back was like, oh, just looking at that sinai, donkulo, oh my goodness, what is that? That's like Godao Hima. It's like Goddao's Hima. That's from the private collection of Magalahi Godda or Magalahi Tagga Hima. Oh my goodness. But
Bigger than the one that they put on the Chief Kapua statue.
that's true. Again, there's Sinahi envy, Ambi. There's going to be some Sinahi envy. Hoswan. But Senor, I do want to ask about the luau because I love that. This is one of the things that I love about Chamorro culture in the wake of the Renaissance, the cultural Renaissance that has taken place. Because in the past, you know, Chamorro protocols, cultural protocols would be very simple. You might pray, you might say a prayer. Maybe you would sing the Star Spangled Banner before an event. Because for our people, after colonization, our cultural protocols, we had been stripped of many of them. We did not have many of our own. And, you
We
know,
lost. I mean,
we lost them, Hungan, but as we encountered other people, whether Native Americans, other Pacific peoples, who had maintained them, we realized that, we should think about what our own might be. And so it is beautiful then to think because some would say, oh, these things are made up, but if they're ours, then it doesn't matter. Who cares? Like there are protocols. If even if Chief Kapua didn't do this, 400 years ago, who cares? There are protocols. And so what I love, and so it's just what I love about this is it's a way that we give reverence and respect to an occasion. We start it by saying we are Chamorro people, and this is how we acknowledge our ancestors. This is how we acknowledge guests. And who's to tell us that that we should do it this way or that? And I think it's beautiful because I can, even just in my life growing up, and Ed, you may have a similar experience, Senor, you may have a similar experience thinking back to how, because I recall, for example, seeing how, for example, a governor would be inaugurated when I was young and sworn in, and there would just be prayers, the Star Spangled Banner. Maybe you might sing the Guam hymn. But now, when our most recent governor was inaugurated, you had cultural dancers come out and chant, and they presented a sinahi and a spongeless to the governor, and it was beautiful. It was so
That
much more meaningful to have something of ourselves as part of the ceremony instead of something, for the start. Yeah, oh, the banner may wave and all that stuff. That's okay. Lo tihita, tigidin hita ti izotadzo. It was so nice to have some. And so, Senor, I know that you are somebody who is always thinking about these cultural protocols and these cultural politics. And so I wanted to hear your thoughts about that.
one of the things that when I've been studying all of these things, that most of the written document is so Western colonialism, and being craving for what is it that is part of us. And if I look at all the Micronesian people, the way they do it, for me, that's exactly how we do it. Let me give you one thing in there. A lot of the times when a barrel was found, the only thing that survived is seashells and stone. The rest of the material culture vanished, from wood to to piece of barks and everything that they put some painting on it and they bury the dead. So only the Sinai, only the Spandalus pretty much survived, and that was it. In so one of the things that I came across is that when somebody died, a high-ranking person, a lot of the people from certain villages gather materials, gather what they made. So if I make a Boston or Bakilu, that's the staff of that chief, that I want to present it down, or somebody make a paddle, present it down inside the ataud of the deceased, and that is our culture. That is part of our culture. They put it everything. And one of the Chuki's guy, one of my brother's friend, passed away, and I made him a Boksa Inano, the journey paddle. So Billy is just almost the same as my dad. My dad is I carved it so much. It's about 3 feet, and I carved it really, really. I got a picture of it. Then I present that in my dad's coffin. And somebody tried to stop me because you want to put the cross. I said, just put the cross there, but I want to put this inside. And people were just looking at me inside the church. What is the well? Put it inside. Put a paddle, Boksa Inano, to my dad. And the Turkish guy that died here, I saw in the coffin, because I make a paddle for that guy, my brother's friend. And when I place it inside the coffin, a lot of other items were placed inside by the Turkish community. And I've seen watch, I've seen pictures, I've seen so many things. And I said to myself at that point when I left it in there, the mother of the son went over and hugged me and said, that is our culture. I said, it's also my culture, but it died out. And the same thing as the kulu, that the kulu has been replaced by the bell. And way back in time, the kulu, when the Spanish came here, they have to look for the person who's the official person to blow the kulu to transfer messages, and they have to find and eliminate and execute that person. Well, let's take it back again. I mean, that was just past is past. But in our culture, we need to parade also the material culture, different all the stuff. We need to showcase guafak, livemen, what's the kefang, that's where they put the food, the uza, todo the class, bakilu. And I think that we should do that again. And I think that's what we're going to be doing. It's parade of the culture, of the material culture in there. and we need to take back. I know that there's one video that it kind of touches me, and I believe, Doc, you were in Hawaii when you touched the Lady Stones. Were you there in the touch the Lady Stone?
Oh,
And I
hunggan.
saw, yeah,
Oh yeah.
I saw everybody touching the Lady Stone and have a prayer, but one of the person did the sign of the cross, and I go, oh, I don't think. And for me, okay, this is just me.
Mm.
Uh, I mean, it's like, the I mean, the spirit of the person probably says, "Hey, that's the one that killed me," or why? But we need to take it back. Like tapatsa, ifekamanyanata, jata, tay tasi.
Madzalalakay hinengi hunggan. Madzalalakay todo hinengi hunggan ang gamatsogweno. Yeah, dinansya banti aniti nai sumisyad zanadzuna lati banti tiha gradesya dzuna
Ganyan.
afa.
Especially
Ini
I
sa-
was
Zuno
there
Steve
in,
Dr. Afa.
I was just there in February. We went to the Bishop Museum in on Oahu, and I
Oh,
have some shells from Aruna, and I brought some shells with me, and I put it on top of the latte over there at
and
Bishop
oh,
at Bishop Museum.
and one of those
that's
is as Untongo, no, you know that one of them is from Marunau, right?
Oh yeah, no, I don't. I didn't know.
Oh, so there's one of them is from Ipao, one of them is from Arunau, and then the largest is the Luta Lati. And so yeah, so one of them was
Yeah, that was
no,
good.
we will have some very exciting news about the Lati and then the larger collection at the Bishop soon. I'm going to Hawaii just
oh,
this week. Just this week I'm going to Hawaii because we're getting ready to finalize the return of all of everything.
Oh
ah,
wow.
And
pwede.
so but no, hunggat ay si Diyos masi. Now let me do one more question because we've had a bunch of people that are tuning in and mega na tao gidza California maiiga esti, but they're not timanyasga esti siya Southern California, manyasga esti siya NorCal. And so si Rona Tenorio Hafaifaisen, any chance that the Marianas Festival will come to Northern California? Is there any possibility? Is MAGI, is the Marianas Festival a Pacific Northwest thing? Like Tsetlu is a kind of a Southern California, San Diego thing. Is the Marianas Festival going to work primarily in the Pacific Northwest, or is it going to be something that may expand out? And Hafe Mizu, what are your thoughts? I mean, you don't have to commit to anything, don't worry, but is this something that you've at least discussed or the group has discussed?
Well, my thoughts are it's definitely a Pacific Northwest thing. Um, at the same time, I see it, as the years pass, I see it getting bigger. And who knows? I mean, it may grow. It may grow elsewhere. But I think for the time being, it's definitely a Pacific Northwest festival.
Mm. No, Sidus Masi. I think there may need to be some groups in the Northern California Bay Area, that are willing to take on the task of organizing. I
Yeah, I think that would be amazing. I think that would be great.
yeah, because that's always yeah, kind of the requirement. But
Yeah. I think there's Chamorros everywhere. Yeah, I feel like, and they're all like just in pockets. And I think of the task is just maybe getting everybody together to make that change, to create these groups and showcase our culture to everyone.
One of
oh,
the one of the
very
thing that
quickly, dispensa, senor, very quickly. Is Senora Lynn Hernandez, Tato San Diego? She is asking, is it correct? Did Nancy Hiningoknya there will be a Chamorro sign language workshop at the Marianas Festival?
Again,
yeah, yeah,
Hungan, Dinancy Hiningokmu, you did hear correctly. All right. See, everyone is getting excited, and this is, I mean, I don't know that I probably won't be able to come out to this, because of course, I have 4 children. I will have a 5th child by the time the the festival happens. And of course, nowadays, United requires one of your children in order for you to fly back and forth across the Pacific. You have to give up one of your children every time you fly between the Marianas and the United States. And so, aye a day. But let me just share real quickly. I put this into the. Oh wait, where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Let me just share this very quickly. I put the link for the website into the live stream. August 22 to 24. Those are the dates for the Marianas Festival. And so it will be multiple days. Here are some of the sponsors. Lots of things happening. You got to hear about a whole bunch of stuff happening. Megay dandan, megay nenkanu, megay kosas. You know, whether you need your fix, because whether you need your Sanahi fixed or whether you need your Chamorro t-shirt fix, you know, whether your gout is demanding some Chamorro food or, you know, you're not quite there, you're not quite diabetic with the rest of us, whatever it is that you need, the Marianas Festival is there for your Chamorro, you know, to get your Chamorro fixes in, right? And so I want to give a last chance though to each of you, and then Ed, Hogofinetna, and then to Senor, just to share some final thoughts. If you want to make any final plugs or just any final ideas while we close out this episode.
Yeah, well, I mean, number one, it's been super. I'm so grateful to be a part of this group and to really help showcase our culture and everything about it. One of the things I wanted to say is that we are asking for community support and through our fundraisers. One of the things coming up pretty soon is June 14th at Taplandia in Tigard, Oregon. The owners from Guam, and it's a great venue. We're gonna there's lots of beers on tap. There's should be live music, more food, and yeah, Candy Taman's gonna play. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Again, that's June 14th at Taplandia, Tigard, Oregon. One of our fundraisers. Yeah, come out.
Pogon and Hingok, okay, Pogon and Hingok, no, si tres días ni, na okasyon ni po masaseri, no, ususuzo amzo ni, mene kung ginipogo, no, mala, sa tapandan niya, no, gan, sogo, ilo, loti sogo, gini mo, America, 100 miles, no, este na inandom, bula Minagov, bula Tinecto, bula Tongass, bula Gunayzazon, Ninafa Molik, no, Gual siyempre, bula tao ko, no, anman kinli, da farmatu za ta celebra, da ta fandanya tuludo mo siya, kalo si 3 días, sa finonya si Doc, no, dagin dinala ko, ni dinazig gout, na bula ning kalo sumoro, no, bula ning kano, bula baila, bula kanta, bula minagov, za usoso zamzo ni mani ko ginakapago, no, sinyala este na petsa za panmaktumagi sa do data celebra sa dan bula loki okasyon gi pamalo siya na state lo you know kuf magudzo za bula minagon patakundan niya za wala mo na matusin na ora za fanita sumulera ta mago ta gaming ta nyotsu ta pambayla mo na siya nga mambuloso lo tapan bago mo ni siya pagang buloso pupabor na fanyugo no to ni ti gamimin yes no, let's all come together and you know connected divided by the land and connected by the ocean yeah apa tao gitano lo man set gitasi no dongkulo na aktibidad celebration de purena dongkulo si masi para hams ko ne kung ginapago ka.
Si dus masi no hams na dos pwede finapton midzo para este episode finapso. Zan, para todo ibidan mi midzo, ni muna posible este bonito na denanya, you know, este Marianas Festival. Ay a day. Zan, si dus masi no hamzo todos, ni umeega podo me kung okestin episode finapso. Adios, este kiman at lihit talo. Esta.
Viva Marianas.